Hi, hello, welcome to Spell a Day, where we're covering a spell every single day of the year from the 5e PHB plus 3, and today's spell is Greater Invisibility. Fourth level illusion, casting time of 1 action, range of touch, components verbal somatic, duration concentration up to 1 minute. You or a creature you touch becomes invisible until the spell ends. Anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible as long as it is on the target's person. Terrifying. Very, very short description, but not much needs to actually be said. Weirdly, because of how we're covering these spells, we didn't get to the invisibility spell on why this is a greater version of it. It's just how this thing kind of works out. But you don't need me to tell you too much on invisibility. Namely, advantage on things. People have disadvantage on hitting you. They don't know where you are to actually hit. You can pick up objects to make them visible. You could drop objects to make them visible again. And it's generally good. When it comes to greater invisibility, which I thought was a 5th level spell, being 4th level, still a decent one, but still easier to get than I thought it was. As long as concentration is held, the flaws of the original invisibility where it breaks if you do an action, cast a spell, or make an attack, just aren't present. It's a slightly more expensive spell slot. I say slightly, it's 2 levels higher. Still touch, still 1 action, and concentration. Also, you can't hit multiple targets with this, you can only hit 1 target. But when you are a spellcaster, this is less for yourself and more for touching the party rogue with this, or the barbarian, or the fighter, or some martial who can capitalize on that advantage and disadvantage against them, and people not knowing where they are, which is why the rogue example comes first. And not too much to say off of that. I mean, again, world building implications wise of invisibility being a thing. This is very short duration, you can't buff its duration to go any farther. That'll be more for other invisibility spell discussions. But when it comes to just this is a middle of combat invisibility. 1 minute. Espionage would be better served with longer time periods and hitting multiple targets. This is for some invisible fighter hitting you. 9 out of 10. Short duration, still concentration, you're likely going to be on the spellcaster, but if you cast this on someone else, again, that martial target scenario in the middle of combat, this is a combat buff spell, and a really good one. It does some of the features that we just talked about Foresight for. It gives you advantage, it gives the enemy disadvantage, but also adds on the fact that they just can't see you. You don't get bonuses to the saves, but the attacks and disadvantage against you on attacks is really, really good.